Hey everybody, it's ASIC Eric here in a smoky California. I am in the garage today, gonna build my compressor doghouse. I'm pretty sure the bulk of the crap that's been getting in my paint is coming from this thing. Not positive, but we're gonna cover it up here and see how things go. So I got a bunch of PVC here, schedule 40 half inch, bunch of fittings. And the plan here is we're gonna go in a U around this thing like this, up around all the way up to the ceiling, stick it all the way up there. And then I'm gonna try and put a little door in it right here with filters, not these filters, but those filters. So that I can open this up here, basically be able to turn the compressor on and off. And then it'll be open at the bottom. Maybe I'll put some of those filters in there. I don't know, I might just do this one side. Again, need to be able to get in there and access this thing. And then we'll screw it to the wall somehow. This is gonna get in the way, I just noticed. Yeah, we'll figure it out how I want to manage that. Cross that bridge when we get to it. The thing I just tried here, I did the flame experiment on this stuff before. This doesn't hold a flame. This stuff does. It doesn't really like go up in flames or anything, but it does hold a flame a little bit more than the other stuff. So I got to make sure this stuff stays far enough away from the compressor that I don't have to worry about it making contact with anything here. The air is going to be blowing this way, so it's going to be pushing it away from the compressor, so it should be okay. We'll give that a try, and if that's a little too sketchy, I'll just replace it with this stuff. They're the same size. These are flimsy. The reason why I like these is they have a metal frame in them, so I can actually use that to anchor them to the PVC to open and close it, so that is the door basically, as opposed to building a door out of PVC that holds this thing and then have the door be PVC. I can do it either way. I'll start with this approach and see how it goes, and if that doesn't work, we'll switch to the other approach. But yeah, so that's ready to go. So I got to start measuring here. I got to move my trolling motor away there, give me some more room to work with. We'll see how it goes. We'll start laying things out and see how it goes. Just trying to get a rough layout here. Doesn't look very square coming off the wall, even though that's approximately square there. Not entirely square. That wall's a little hard to line up on, so I think we'll go with that maybe. Something like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. It looks okay, I guess. So we're going to come out from that edge there. Just make sure we clear the regulators and stuff here. That's on the inside of this line. So I think that'll work. And probably want to come out to about there. 40 inches looks good. All right, so 40 inches from there, where I just guessed, put it at 39 1/4. So we'll just go 40 inches over from that way as well. So 40 inches square, that works out nicely. One of the things I've never been sure about with PVC is when you cut it, and by the time you finally put the fittings on and everything, how does that all work out in terms of width and everything? So I'm going to try and see if I can figure that out today. I'm not going to glue this thing together. So it's basically cut a length, mash it together, get an idea of how big that is, and that'll tell me sort of how I need to measure things. All right, so I cut this at 39 as a guess, and we ended up at 41 3/4 rather. So in reality, that's going to be 2 3/4 inches longer. I'm counting, end to the ends of the fittings, 2 3/4. So half of that is 1 5/8. No, that's not right. 1 3/8. We're going to get this right one of these days. Yeah, okay, that's right. 1 3/8. So each of these adds 1 3/8 to the size. Let's see if you look at, let's see where 1 3/8 would be there. All right, so those are going in a little bit more than a 1/2 inch. looks like, yeah, about 5/8. The pipe goes in there about 5/8. Okay, so 1 3/8 from the end of the thing. So how do we figure that out? So we need to take an additional 2 3/4 off of this to get it down to 40 inches. Sorry, I meant 1 3/4. I'm tired. But anyway, so we're at pretty much 40 now, outside edge to outside edge. So that's our rule for those. So we need to take off 2 3/4 off of 40 to get the size that we want to end up at 40. Makes sense? Good. I'm glad you're confused too. So 37 1/4, which is 2 3/4 off of that. So all of my 40-inch runs need to be 37 1/4. And I'm using these kind of cutters for this. These work perfectly for PVC. Alrighty, there's our base frame. So go ahead and figure out what we're going to do with this part here. And apologies for the noise outside. I've got my gardener trimming back the trees outside. There's a bunch of stuff overgrown. Alright, so we're going to go from the floor, because that's our measurement system we've been using. So I think 50 inches is right here. Those things are 24 by 25. Is that right? I'm going to double check that. So 24 by 25. 24 would get me up to the top of the tape measure here. Probably want to go a little lower than that. Let's do it right at 48. Yeah, that looks good. We'll go for 48 inches. All right. So to get the 48-inch final height, put that there at 45 1/4. So the question is, well, a question, do I need to run this length back here or not? Probably not. So I'll just put the cross piece in here, and it's almost the right size. So this will be the bottom frame, and then I've got to put some uprights here to hold the filter in. So I've got to figure all of that out. So we'll get started on that next. So if we do 24 1/4, that should get us 25 inner end to inner end here. And it's not close. That's 24 1/2, which is actually probably better. We want it a little bit snug. So yeah, this is why these are different fittings than the other ones too, so they may have different behavior. So anyway, we'll go with that. We'll start with that, see how we can get the filter to fit in there. We'll grab a filter. All right, so here we have a filter. Let's see how well that fits. So here's the metal frame right here. Come on. Yeah, that could actually stand to be a little smaller even. I might take another 1/4 inch off of that. Yeah, let's see how it is. Smack that on there. Yeah, that's nice and snug now, so we'll go with that. Okay, then all we have to do is figure out how to make this fit in the other pieces. All right, I think we got that about right. Let's see how we did. 40 1/8. Close enough for government work. Probably snug that up a little bit. 40. All right, got it. Okay, so that was straightforward enough. Now we need to do the same thing to calculate the height of the frame, and we'll go from there. All right, I just cut that 2 inches short, so 22 inches. I don't remember what I did on the other one. Yeah. Well, these are 20 by 25, not 24. That's right. That's okay. Cut long, right? You can always make it shorter. Let's see. So we want to go another 3 inches. inches probably, maybe 3 1/4 off of that. Yep, that worked. Okay, so I just got to duplicate those structures all the way around now. All right, that's looking good. I'm gonna try and fit a piece up here. It's a little tricky. That measure better. So good. The only problem with working these things is you're trying to cut off a small amount. Sorry. It's not always the easiest thing to do. They tend to go a little wonky on you. Good. Perfect. One more of those. All right, moment of truth. See if this thing fits. This is a bit easier with some help. Step ladder. It's definitely easier with some help. A second. Alright, she's in. There's a little cockeyed in the center here. I didn't put that cross beam in, which is good. I want to see about getting that filter in there now. So I'm going to try tying it in with this wire. I don't know what this stuff is called. It's not guitar wire, but there, just 24 gauge wire. Just cut a little loops off here. Hopefully this works. Just punch a hole through here, and this just goes right through. There's the frame. Find the frame. Just twist that on there. Hold it in place. I'm going to use these as the hinges here. Recording? Yes. Alright, so pop this out on this side here. Jam it in there. Stick. but it'll work if I just run some ties around the other side. So it won't be a great hinge setup. I think it'll be okay. One here at the top. And I just run a couple on the side that will hold it in place. So I just have to undo these when I need to run the compressor. Like that. Pretty good seal. Yeah. That'll work. Now I just have to wrap it in plastic and anchor it to the wall. Alright, we're just working our way around here. So I'm working on the hatch right there right now, so I undid the one hook on the far side there. And we'll tape this plastic so it's nice and snug on there. Keep it from billowing. See that or not? Just kind of lay a piece of tape on it like this. Pull it down snug. I'll go back and trim off the excess in a minute here. Like that. This edge over here. So this is the painter's plastic, and I have this side out. I was talking with Cliff about this. You can do it either way. I'm thinking this way, the overspray that lands on it will stick to it instead of flying off. We'll see. I don't know how long I can leave this plastic on there. Hopefully I don't have to swap it out with every time I paint. That would get old real fast. Hopefully that's not the case. I'm going to tuck this under here. So, I don't have a lot of painting left to do. This weekend's project's going to be a little different. I need to replace the bumper cover on my wife's Lexus. It's a lease, and the car's got to go back. And we hit a really steep driveway one time and scraped the heck out of the bottom of it and busted all the tabs that hold it in place and stuff. I had no idea how much the leasing company or Toyota or whatever would charge to fix that, but I suspect it's going to be cheaper if I fix it myself. I had leased a Lexus GS a number of years ago, and it was like a, 30-month lease or something, I forget. And that thing was completely mint when I brought it back. And still, they managed to charge me like $1,500 in wear and tear. I have no idea how. They don't tell you why, right? They're just like, oh, wear and tear. $1,500 in. Everybody that saw that car said it looked brand new. They had one little dent in it, which was about that big, and theoretically, if it's less than the size of a quarter, it's not supposed to count. But so I don't know what happened with that car, but I'm not taking that chance again. So I'm going to go ahead and paint it. So tomorrow I'll come out here and do that, and that's white. It's a pearl white. Very expensive. That paint was more expensive than the paint for the Camaro. Shocking. but it's a tri-coat again. The pearl was absolutely insane. Anyway, so we have that to do, and then we have 1, 2, maybe 3 flow coats to do on the Camaro, and the Camaro's done, and that's it. So it's like 4 more spray times in here-ish. So hopefully this will last long enough that I don't have to replace it during that time. All right, she is basically done. I can't really get back into that corner very well. I have to move the workbench to get in there, so I'm going to leave that loose, and hopefully that doesn't cause me any trouble. So we got our flappy door here, and then down here it's got a little hole like that, and then this thing, suction, should basically hold that thing in place. Yeah. Oh man, did I leave it unplugged? I think I did. Crap. Fail. Definitely helps if your compressor's plugged in. All right, so I'll fire it up and see what happens. Air's definitely coming out here. Let's close it up. So we ran that for just like 5 minutes. And I don't know if you can see that crap. There's already crap in there. So that is definitely not helping matters. Is that the total issue? I don't know. There's definitely some of it. There's even some oil flinging off of there. So this is definitely a good idea. I should have done this before I painted my car, but oh well, it is what it is. All right, so that's it for this project. So like I said, tomorrow we'll be out here painting the bumper for the Lexus. So I'll make a separate video for that. And then it's back on this guy next weekend. All right, everybody, thanks a lot. If you have any thoughts or suggestions for this setup here, let me know, please. Thank you.